From being from two completely opposite backgrounds to shaking hands on common ground, here's all about the two newly turned free agents' upcoming face-off. Firstly, when we see Deontay Wilder versus Francis Ngannou, the whole deal is still in process. It's still in that early social media phase where the fighters trade terms along with some disses, back and forth. So a date is yet to be confirmed. Both of them, frustrated with their agencies, have recently left to become free agents. But while Wilder has left the PBC on good terms, I can't say the same for Ngannou. It was recently revealed that Wilder, who's considered to be the best boxer in the heavyweight division, was looking for a new promoter. With a fight with Andy Ruiz just around the corner, fans were shocked. Was there even going to be a fight? As it turns out, the Bronze Bomber was dissatisfied with the proposed check for the fight. After defeating Robert Helenius, he was up to face the former champion in a final eliminator fight. And according to Michael Coppinger from ESPN, neither Wilder nor his promoter was happy with the estimated payday. But even though he was open to offers from other promoters, the 37-year-old announced no bad blood with his current promoter, Al Haymon. He was on good terms with him and was still aligned with Premier Boxing Champions and his advisor. Except that he was now open to working with everyone and wanted to fight on all kinds of platforms. He basically wants to get more control over his career and see to his fights himself. But Ngannou can't boast the same cordial relations. After all, he left the UFC on a pretty rough note. The Predator was stripped of his title as the heavyweight champion as he left the UFC. He left the entire world of MMA in shock and a trail of mixed opinions in his wake. He came out with a YouTube video to clear up the air regarding his exit. As it turns out, the strict contracts were too suffocating for the 36-year-old. The rigidity of the promotion's rules was too much for him, and he felt like he was losing his freedom. According to Ngannou, he put forward some terms for the Las Vegas-based promotion. But none of his terms, be it the right of a sponsorship, health insurance, or a fighter advocate, were met. The promotion wasn't even letting him pursue and navigate his career how he wanted to. Seeing how they abused their power, he didn't want to be on the receiving end of it anymore. He clearly was fed up. Because, according to Dana, he even turned down an offer that would have made him the highest-earning heavyweight fighter in UFC history. That's huge. Now that he's free to fight whoever he wants, he's got his eyes locked on Wilder. It's perfect since he's been looking for a way to cross over into boxing. I mean, that's been his dream ever since his first MMA fight. Ngannou has mentioned Wilder, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua before as potential opponents for his debut. But with the option of a two-fight deal, one in boxing and one in MMA, it's too good of an opportunity to turn down. And Wilder is all for it. The two are on surprisingly good terms, which is rare since that is usually destroyed by all the trash-talking leading to the fight. While talking to Trill Boxing Talk, he mentioned that he previously talked to the Predator at the UFC Apex in Vegas. Well, he was still interested in that fight. And to make it fair, and even more interesting, they'd meet each other halfway. Let's make it a two-fight deal. Everybody always comes to boxing. Let's do this. You come to my house, I come to yours. A true tea party. The boxer also added that he even spoke to Dana White about securing a fight with Ngannou while he was under the promotion. But now that we know the whole deal, it makes sense why nothing ever came to fruition. He even praised his soon-to-be opponent, saying that he was proud of him for following his heart. I don't know about you, but I need some hands flying for it to be a good fight. Either way, both of them are completely down to give fans a good showdown. After Wilder announced that he was now a free agent, Ngannou took to Twitter to congratulate him. He also took him up on his offer, saying that he would see him soon in the ring. Ngannou has never competed in pro boxing before, but has recently started training, and has only one boxing match on his record. So how will a fight between the two play out? Now that's something you could have a heated debate on. Both of them are remarkable in their respective sports. If it's a boxing match, Wilder would stroll through it like a walk in the park. But in the octagon, Ngannou would dominate Wilder with ease. They both have noteworthy reputations and impressive records to boast. With 42 out of his 43 wins ending by knockout, Wilder is broadly considered the hardest puncher across all of boxing, and has most recently secured a win over Robert Helenius with one of the most devastating finishes of 2022. But Ngannou has a professional record of 17 wins and 3 losses. And much like Wilder, he's considered the most powerful puncher, but in UFC history. The president of the UFC even commented that getting hit by Ngannou's punch was like being slammed by a Ford Escort. Now imagine those two facing off in the same ring. So both of them are known for their impressive punching power and knockout ability. Besides that, it heavily relies on where the fight takes place to bet on a winner. If I'm talking about MMA, there are too many aspects Wilder would have to master in order to even come close to Ngannou's expertise in the octagon. Not to mention, the striking range would be a whole new facet for Wilder. And we all know Ngannou is heavily known for his dangerous striking skills. The art of MMA, with its wrestling and kicks, is something that takes a lot of time to adjust to. And whether Wilder can master it, we'll just have to wait and see. Since the fight would be on a longer range, Ngannou would have it relatively easy to take down an amateur with his expert feints and kicks before using a big right hand to put Wilder to sleep. He also has the advantage of being accustomed to his 4-ounce gloves, rather than the 10-ounce gloves Wilder is used to. And without his usual weight, it would be harder for Wilder to keep up his defense. Even though boxing and MMA share some elements, they're completely different sports in their own rights. But all of these could also work in Wilder's favor in a boxing match. He has a more unorthodox style and relies heavily on his right hand. His experience in professional boxing speaks for itself, with only 2 losses from the same opponent. Not to mention he has a longer reach than Ngannou, which could give him an advantage in the fight. The two have totally different backgrounds, with Ngannou majoring in mixed martial arts. Wilder has primarily focused on boxing throughout his career, and while Francis has been known for his intimidating physical presence, Wilder's known for his flashy entrances and showmanship. Either way, both of them have reputations that set them out as opponents to look out for. And while both of them have stark differences, there's a reason they've built a name for themselves as one of the best players in their division. Now, all that's left to be seen is how they use these factors to take the other down in the actual match. Well, that's all Deontay Wilder revealed about the 2-fight deal with Francis Ngannou.